If you like to have your mind blown Shyamalan style, well, old school Shyamalan style, then Arrival is the movie for you.
It's done. Yeah, that just happened.
What happens now?
They arrive.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Now that's a proper introduction.
Arrival is directed by Denis Villeneuve, or however you pronounce your name, I'm sorry, man. Director of last year's Sicario, and it stars Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forest Whitaker in this new take on the alien sci-fi genre. So to give you a general idea of what this movie is about, it's about these aliens that come to Earth, and they don't really seem to be making any sort of contact or interaction with the people of Earth. There's just 12 ships that came down, and they're kind of just sitting there. So Forest Whitaker and the military recruit Amy Adams' character Louise, who is supposed to be the leading language expert in the world, to try to communicate with them and figure out what they're there for. So Amy Adams, as this leading language expert, delivers a very powerful, subdued performance. You see fear, excitement, anger, all kinds of feelings, but overall her character is a very mellow sort of character, and you just have to feel these from Amy Adams' performance without too much dialogue. She really makes you feel stuff pretty good. Not gonna lie, I know her from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and I thought she was a crap actor. But that must have just been the writers on Lois Lane, because this character, she gets stuff done, and she's great. Like, Amy Adams is a fantastic actor in this movie. She's by far the best of the cast and really carries the movie on her shoulders. So Jeremy Renner plays Ian, a theoretical physicist who's just kind of there. His performance in this movie is good. I can't really fault him for it. He does a good job of doing the same sort of thing Amy Adams does. He's also playing a semi-quiet character, so he's not able to show his emotions too much through dialogue, and you see them through the expressions on his face. He does a really good job. Unfortunately, he's not given any purpose in this movie whatsoever. He's kind of just there to be like, hey, I'm there, another character, I'm Hawkeye. And while I love Jeremy Renner, I love Hawkeye, I love him in the Mission Impossible movies, this movie really just kind of underutilizes him. I think he's an underrated actor. He deserved better to work with. Now, Forest Whitaker, along with every other character, there's no outstanding performances, and they're really not there in the movie. Forest Whitaker's purpose is to just constantly remind Amy Adams that, hey, we got a schedule, you gotta figure this thing out by tomorrow. That's kind of all he does, and he's not in it, really. Like, he's there a lot, but he's not part of the movie, if that makes sense. The movie could go on if every character was not there except Amy Adams, and she went to try to talk to the aliens by herself, no other characters. The movie would have been pretty much the exact same thing. Other characters are there to sort of connect with the audience more, and if you don't connect to Louise, you're not gonna connect to this movie on the same level that I did. Alright, getting away from the character stuff, this movie is shot beautifully. It's definitely one of the best shot movies of the year, and if you watched Sicario, you know that this director does a really good job with beautiful wide shots, and he continues that here. The shot where they're flying in on the helicopter or airplane, I can't remember which one, and they see the ship for the first time, that's a great shot. And every other shot, basically, of the ship or of that sort of military camp by there, it's beautiful. Like, even if you don't enjoy the movie, I think you would have a great time just looking at the shots. They're so good to look at. The visual effects they use for the aliens, and I don't know if they used any for the ship, but if they did, I couldn't tell. They look really good. Super realistic. I loved it. I love the aliens in this movie. They're so cool looking. Now, I can't go into the plot too much of this movie, other than what I've already said, but it will keep you in your seat, and it will blow your mind near the end. Like I said, there's a very Shyamalan-esque twist at the end, and it's great. It's not like it's boring before you get there. Like, as you're watching it, and she's just trying to communicate with these aliens, it's actually really kind of an interesting experience. Like, I've never felt that before in a movie. I really want her to connect with these aliens and see why they're here. because they do a pretty good job of convincing you they're there for good, but then you're also sort of unsure the whole time. You see other countries in the world and how they're treating the aliens sort of hostile, and you're wondering maybe that's the right course of action, and it really keeps you questioning until the end when all is revealed, and it's fantastic. Even if you don't like the rest of the movie, I can assure you that the little twist is going to be enough to at least get you thinking for quite a bit about it. While I wasn't a huge fan of last year's Sicario, I can say that Arrival is definitely a fantastic, innovative movie with a great performance by Amy Adams. And while it lacks in other characters, it makes up for all that in its story and its intrigue. This is a movie that should have been absolutely perfect, top of my list. And there was the flaw with the characters, but otherwise it's still a fantastic movie that I urge you to check out if you're a fan of sci-fi, if you're a fan of twists, if you're a fan of just movie making in general. This is one to check out. It's certainly a unique experience. Alright, so that was everything I had to say about Arrival. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and share. And as always, steal the show. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out this cards thing and how that works. I'm not really sure how it works. I think if I just sort of stand here and talk for a little bit, I can put the cards like here and here for my next movies. I can put the subscribe one like on my chat.